The NFL draft is right around the corner, and teams are still filling their rosters out. Today, we're going to see if I would rather have an NFL draft pick of that position or the best remaining free agent at said position. Versus Jauan Jennings, wide receiver formerly of the San Francisco 49ers. Would I rather have a draft pick or Jauan Jennings? Probably Jauan Jennings, actually. I know he's still floating around due to wanting more money than he's probably due. But he needs to go up and get a guy. He was one of the only productive people on the San Francisco 49ers team on their offense when they needed something, some type of spark in the last couple years. McCaffrey was great. Deebo got fat and slow there. Kittle's taking a step back with age. Jennings was the guy that they could lean on. And now they're giving him the boot for what? So I think this is total San Francisco mismanagement. They should be keeping Jennings. Big physical wide receiver, I'd probably take him over a rookie. Next is Joey Bosa, a very difficult choice to make. Bosa's only 30 years old. He had 5 sacks and 5 forced fumbles last season with Buffalo, but he's still floating. That lets me know that teams are not thrilled about either his health or the requested pay that he wants to play for them next season. I might go with a rookie here, honestly. A young, explosive defensive lineman just coming out of college that I could get 4 years out of. That could give me some pretty good production that I would hope could give me 5 sacks in one of his first 2 years, opposed to dropping like $22 million for 1 year of a Bosa, $16 million for 1 year of a Bosa. No thanks. I'd go with the rookie here. Next, Stefon Diggs. Stefon Diggs has had an incredibly interesting last 3 years, and that's to put it lightly. Injuries, off-field issues, off-field drama, which is different than the issues. But he had 1,000 yards last year. He had 1,000 yards of the Patriots last year when everyone thought he was going to be washed, myself included. Would I take a swing on him? I might go with a rookie because the rookie doesn't have the situations. They're not flight risk is the wrong word, but they're not a risk or as much of a risk as somebody who has had issues with others working outside of football like Diggs has had. So I would hope that I could get a rookie, mold him to be a nice NFL player that doesn't have issues off the field, and then maybe they can get into the status of a Stefon Diggs one day. Is the juice worth the squeeze for Diggs? Probably not. Is a team going to be desperate enough to pick him up? Probably. I would understand it, though, because he defied all odds last year. I would go with a rookie, though. I really would. Deebo Samuel is a free agent this year, age 30. Deebo's only 30, everybody. Do you want to take a flyer? I'd take a rookie. I would take a rookie immediately, second rounder, third rounder. I'd say this is our guy. This is our guy that's going to fit the Deebo role. You know, I want this guy because he didn't balloon up, because he didn't get thick. And maybe that's just a Deebo thing. Maybe he was told to get a little thick by his doctor, but he's not that fast anymore. And it doesn't look like he's that strong. And he's lost that part of Deebo Samuel that gave him an edge over every wide receiver and every running back that they tried to do jet sweeps with, like Deebo Samuel. They weren't as aggressive, and I don't think Deebo Samuel is as aggressive as he once was. He's never been heralded for his route running possibilities. So wide receiver or running back, I'd look to find a stout guy, somebody that can go and is aggressive, wants to make their bones in the league, wants to get a Deebo Samuel contract. I don't know if that's Deebo, though. I know he had a couple touchdowns last year. It's like, oh, is that Deebo Samuel? Yeah, that is Deebo Samuel. I'm not believing in it, though. I've got to go with the rookie. Sorry, Deebo's washed. Here's a tricky one. David Njoku, tight end, age 30, physical freak, built out of granite. Scratch that. Carved out of granite. Been able to overcome every possible difficulty that the NFL has had to offer. Injuries, playing for Cleveland, the Cleveland quarterback situation. Would I take him over a young tight end like Trigg out of Baylor or Kenyon Sadiq out of Oregon? I might. I honestly might. I think I might be looking for a David Njoku. I really might. Those tight ends might go early, and I think that if you are at this point and you don't have a franchise tight end, it's a luxury pick. I'd probably sign David Njoku over a lot of rookies, unless a perfect one fell in my lap. We had some free fall. This would be a really tough conversation to have. It's like, hey, I know he's 30. I know he was buried in Cleveland for so long, but the guy's an athlete. The guy played really, really good ball at times in that team that just does not afford vertical growth. I think he superseded that. Also, I'm not a GM. He deserves it. He deserves it. David Njoku deserves to play for a better team than Cleveland. Somebody make a play for him. I know I'm kind of getting away from the whole bit of the video here, but somebody deserves, if there's anybody in the NFL that deserves a second chance with a good team, it's David Njoku, who poured it out for that team that gave him nothing. Jimmy Garoppolo is a free agent. I'm signing that dude today. I'm signing Jimmy Garoppolo over any quarterback. That's a rookie that's coming out today. He has been such a solid commodity for any team that's picked him up. I know he's a lifetime backup. You're not picking him up to be your starter. But if you have incident and you're a team that is possibly going to go at 500 or above 500, you need a Jimmy Garoppolo. You do. We've seen too many collapses as of late. Do you think Baltimore would have made the playoffs if they had Jimmy Garoppolo as a backup any of these past years? How about Cincinnati? Do you think they could have actually made a run? I do too. You go after Jimmy Garoppolo if he's on the market. Pay him the money that he's due. He's probably a top 3 backup quarterback in the NFL. I know that it's a more of a limited skill set because he's not uber mobile, but he's been there. And I'm honestly tired of seeing Flacco. I'm tired of seeing Phillip Rivers. Jimmy Garoppolo should be like the premier backup quarterback, going for money, going and getting paid for money to save a season, to be a good buoy for a season for a team that just had a starter go down, that has a good team. Yeah, I'd pick up Jimmy Garoppolo. I'd take the call. I'd file out the flyer, whatever I need to do to get Jimmy G on my team, I do. Let me know any free agents that I missed. Let me know if you would take draft prospects over these players and who in the comments below. Thanks as always.